Jason, if I'm looking at an apartment that's got, say, 60 years left on the lease, why would I even bother looking at it?
Well, the lower the lease, then the more money you can make on these short lease flats.
Yeah.
So with a 60-year mortgage or 60-year lease, should I say, potentially, depending on where it is in the country, you can make anything from 30 grand upwards in terms of uplift.
Right.
So like a paper version of the BRR. So if that flat was in North London, you could probably make around, I don't know, 30 to 50 grand in terms of profit. If that same flat was in prime central London, then you can make 6 figures worth of profit. So it depends on where you're buying, but the lower the lease, the more money you can make out of it.
Why does not everybody do that then? Why is everybody just run a mile as soon as they hear the word short lease?
Yeah, it's a lot of paperwork, should I say.
Yeah.
Now, when you see and hear flats, people think of service charges every month. I mean, every year the annual service charge creeps up by 2%, 3%, 4%. You have to answer the block management company. You've got the freeholder, where you sometimes have to pay ground rent.
Yeah.
And then obviously, when it comes to the lease extension, you've got to pay money towards the lease extension. So there's a lot of people to answer to in terms of buying flats.
Yes.
So a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be held ransom to the block management or the freeholder. I just want a house, freehold.
And that would be my thinking, why do I want all that hassle?
Yeah.
We've got a small number of apartments in our portfolio. We've got a small number of apartment blocks, but we've got the freehold. So then, I'm never really concerned about that.
Yeah.
But as soon as somebody presents me with an apartment, I'm just thinking, it's just headache.
Yeah, no, it's paper version of the BRR, especially if you can refurb it and change it from a 1 bed to a 2 bed or 2 bed to a 3 bed, and it has a short lease.
Yeah.
Then one's I call a triple threat.
Right. So you're adding value by renovating it.
Yep.
You're adding value by reconfiguring it, turning it from 1 to a 2.
Yep.
And you're adding value by increasing the lease term.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So those ones bring the most money.
Yeah.
So as you know, you can buy them when they're above shops, conversions, what used to be a house, and convert it into flats, top and bottom floor. You can have purpose-built ones as well. There's so many different ones that you can buy, obviously. But with me, the reason why I like flats is because I wanted to leave my full-time job. This is why I liked it. And I couldn't afford to buy houses at the time. So I thought, instead of me not doing anything, I thought, right, I just get myself onto the ladder and then start jumping. And then it worked out well.
So it wasn't a strategy that you specifically went to look and learn about and say, right, short lease, I'm going to do this. Is it something you kind of stumbled into because you're looking for cheaper end of property? Or?
Yeah. Basically, it evolved. So I bought a normal flat, a conversion. So I just had to pay builders insurance from it. There's no service charge. £500 a month, or £600 a month rental profit that I was making off it at the time. And then the lease on that one, about when I bought in 2001, that's my first ever flat.
Okay.
And then the following year, I extended the lease because the lease was about 82 or 83 years.
So it wasn't short, but you still extended it anyway.
Yeah, exactly, because it was above 80.
Okay.
So if it's above 80, it's going to be a lot cheaper than if it's below 80, because 80 is a marriage value.
Yeah. Right.
So I thought, let me extend it now, while it's above 80, it's going to be cheaper. That was the first ever short lease that I did back in 2002.
Okay.
And then I just kept on buying. Just normal vanilla buy-to-lets. Then moved over to flats with refurbs.
Yes.
And then reconfiguring, so flats with BRR, reconfiguring as well. 1 bed to 2 beds, 2 beds to 3 beds. And then not stumbled, but I thought about short leases came into afterwards. Yeah. All of these flats have leases on them. So eventually you're going to have to extend the leases. And then it just started to snowball from there.
Okay.
So on average, like I said, if you're making £600 a flat and you have, say, 30 flats there, then that's going to be 18 grand a month that you're bringing in, which is good. And on average, where I am, if you've got studios, 1 beds, 2 beds and 3 bed flats, some it's local authority, some purpose built, some above shops, some conversions. On average, they're between 250 and maybe 300k. So if it's like 250 in terms of value, and you have 30 flats, then that's 7.5 million.
Yeah.
If the average is about 300k, because the 3 beds are a bit over 300k, then 30 times 300, that's 9 million. So lots of littles make a lot, yeah. So even though it's little £500 here, £600 here, you might think, oh, it's not much, but lots of littles make a lot.
They add up.
I mean, it just grows. And then every so often, Like I said, now it's every 3-4 months. Buy another one, another £600.
Yeah.
Buy another one, another £600. So instead of it being 18 grand a month, it's 18.6. Buy another one, another 4 months, 19.2, and then by the end of the year, it's 19.8, and then so on. So just slowly but surely going up and up and up.
Yes.
So before long, you'll be hitting 21, 22, 23 grand a year, just from a simple flat strategy.
Yeah, yeah.
So even though a lot of people don't like flats, lots of littles do make a lot, and you can move forward that way.
Yes.
So that's how I funded my lifestyle so far.
Yeah.
So it worked out well. And then obviously, that's just a rental income because I like the cash flow. But if you're talking about taking out lump sums and then moving forward, initially that was the plan where you refinance.
Extract some more equity.
Exactly. Plus your savings, plus your employed income, plus your rental income, and then you move again to get the next one, and so on and so on and so on. When it gets to a point where you don't really need to refinance as much or at all. So you can save 13 grand a month-ish on average. If you're making like 18k a month, you can save like 13k a month. So every 3-4 months, that's a deposit for another one.
For another one, yeah.
And then you just move forward. So that way you keep your gearing low.
Yes.
Because lately, the last bank, they said to me I'm geared about 49.8%.
That's very good.
Yeah, so it's a bit under half. So I've got a lot of equity there, just sitting there.
Yeah.
So
for someone watching this who may not understand what you mean by that, that means how much debt you have versus the value. So if something's worth, say, £1 million, you've got less than £500,000 of debt on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So